All right, let's look at using and creating custom forms through the message control screen. I'm just going to print this invoice here, click output. That'll get me to message control. And up in the top left hand section, there are three things. First is a drop-down box that tells you the current form that you're printing. If there is a custom form that is set for your company, it will say custom CID here. So that would mean that you have a form that is the same as the CID that you're working in. You can see that form right here, but it will always say custom CID if there's one there. That tells you that there's a specific form set up for the company that by default it's going to print. You can choose any of the other forms. Notice this form looks different than maybe this form. So simply by choosing those different forms, you can print, preview, email, whatever you're doing for message control, a different looking form. Same thing true on a report. Obviously this is an invoice form, but the same thing holds true on a report. If you want to customize one of the forms, you pick the specific form that you want to change and click the Customize button. That's going to open up the report writer, and if I go ahead and maximize this, you will see all of the fields that potentially print on this form. Now, depending on your knowledge of the data fields and how good you are at actual report writers, you could do a number of different things in here. Obviously the most easy is to move things around. So if I wanted to move this over, I can select all of those things and move it. You can use the report controls here, and you can make new labels. So if I wanted to call this customer instead of bill to, pretty simple drag and drop interface, and so you can do simple things like that. Down in some of the other sections, you can simply delete things by just highlighting them and clicking the delete button. So I could highlight this and hit delete and it'll go away. You can click and drag to select multiple things, and then you can move those things around. So you can do your own customization of the report right inside of here, and then up on the top right there's this little X, and if you click that, it will ask you if you want to save the changes. If you say yes, it'll save all the changes you made. If you say no, it won't. It'll just revert back to where you started. Cancel will keep you inside of the report writer. So I'm just going to click no. It'll return me back to message control. If I had clicked yes, then I could preview those changes right here. They're immediate. So once you make the change, it is immediate. If you want to make a new form, then you would select the form that you want as your starting point. So if I wanted the time each form as my starting point, I would pick that, and then I would hit create new, and it's going to ask me to give it another name. So this one's named time each. I'm going to call this one test demo. You'll notice that it appends it onto the end of the form name there. Click OK. You'll get a new form, and then you can go in and make your changes to your new form using the original form as your starting template. So now I could go in and make a few changes. Maybe make this font bigger. Move it down a little bit. So do you want to save changes? Yes. And now I will have a test demo form, which I can choose. And if we look at it here, you'll see that made my font a little bit bigger here, and no payment terms note at the bottom. So customizing forms is pretty easy. If you get hung up on anything, or you want to add a field or anything like that, just contact Avis and they'll be happy to help.